Peterson often tells his audiences, if you cannot name your problem, you cannot solve it. And that's where precision begins, with naming. When you articulate what's wrong, you give shape to the invisible. The vague anxiety that haunts you suddenly becomes a defined obstacle you can confront. But when you refuse to define your problems, when you leave them in the fog, they grow larger, darker, and more terrifying than they really are. Because what you avoid becomes what controls you. Peterson learned this early in his career as a psychologist. Patients would come to him saying, "I'm unhappy," or "my life is a mess." Vague, undefined statements that left them powerless. He would ask, "Where exactly is the problem? When does it happen? Who's involved? What are you doing when it occurs?" And as they struggled to answer, something miraculous happened. Clarity emerged. The monster in the fog took shape. It wasn't a life that was unbearable. It was one broken habit, one toxic relationship, one neglected truth. When you name it precisely, you make it manageable. Peterson often connects this to ancient wisdom, the biblical story of Genesis. In the beginning, God brings order out of chaos by speaking. He names light and darkness, land and sea. Language is the act that creates structure. When we speak precisely, we imitate that creative act. We take the swirling confusion of existence and divide it into meaning. But when we speak vaguely, when we lie, when we refuse to define, we let chaos reclaim what's ours. Precision is not about being perfect with grammar or vocabulary. It's about honesty, about saying exactly what you mean, no more and no less. When you fight with someone and say, "You always ignore me," you're not being precise. You're exaggerating to win. But if you say, "I felt ignored when you didn't answer my call," you transform blame into communication. Precision turns accusation into truth. And truth is what allows relationships to heal. Peterson warns that vague language is often a form of avoidance. People use it to hide from conflict, from pain, from responsibility. You say, "I'm fine, egg," when you're not. You say it's complicated when it isn't. It's just uncomfortable. You say a maybe later when you mean "I'm afraid." But every vague word builds a wall between you and reality. And behind that wall, problems multiply. He writes, if you refuse to specify your problems, you will keep them. You will suffer from them, and you will become resentful. Precision, by contrast, forces you to look directly at the thing that hurts. And that's the first step toward healing. Being precise in your speech is an act of courage, because clarity invites consequence. When you say something true, you expose yourself. You risk disagreement, rejection, even failure. That's why so many people hide behind ambiguity. It feels safer to be misunderstood than to be vulnerable. But Peterson reminds